Now, technically speaking, Brian, this course on Objective-C is not technically pure.
Right.
Why is that?
I don't know.
Oh, okay, well then I will. We're gonna be discussing this language using NS objects, which derive from the Coca Foundation. Right? So this is technically an addition to the language.
Yes.
You don't have to use this to write an Objective-C.
Right.
And to see how all that functions, you can look at the, like I said, the NSObject.h, NSObject.m file to see how they instantiate things using the pure implementation of the language.
Absolutely. And because if we just stayed just on pure Objective-C, after a while, you kind of...
It would get very tedious.
Right. And you'd be like, when can I do the Mac stuff now?
It's not really relevant to what Objective-C is used commercially today.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's what we want to be for you is we want you to have relevant, useful, sellable, valuable knowledge.
And I don't think that I've seen, and this may be my ignorance, but I don't think I have seen another learning source that does not make this assumption.
Right.
You get a book on Objective-C, the first thing you learn is what is an NS string, what is an NS number.
As if it's naturally part of the language.
Right, but technically it is not.
So this course is, we can't stress this enough, just so that you're clear, the course is aimed at Mac users, but you can follow along with the basics in Windows using some tools.
Yeah.
Just be aware that compilation syntax of Windows is not going to be quite the same, and not all code is cross-compatible, cross-platform compatible. But you could try it. For
those of you guys that are gung-ho about this, Brian, can you explain to them how they can attempt to try some of this in Windows?
Yeah, just go look for GNUStep. GNUStep. Go download it. Go to their website. Check it out. Just install the MSys system and then the core, and then just compile it, kind of like you would do.
It's a little more complex than the way we're going to show, but this is an example of how you can compile a program here. But we're not going to be teaching Windows, but this is just for, hey, buddy, did you know?
Yeah.
Pointers!
So Objective-C is a maze of freaking pointers.
Yes! All over the
It's
place.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
So it can be complex, it can be overwhelming, and you can feel like you're upside down. Like a lot of times, like when you do somersaults in a swimming pool, or like in a river where you wash your clothes, depending on where you're coming from, it can kind of feel like that, because you can get kind of disoriented. You're like, oh, wait a minute, I thought I was calling that thing. I'm not calling it, I'm attaching to it, so this thing can consume it, and it sends it back over there. So it is a maze of pointers. It's a maze of memory management, but once you focus on the core elements, and once you really focus on how the language is functioning and operating, that maze starts to not look quite as much of a maze after a while.
Yes, if you are not fully comfortable with pointers, go back to C.
Right.
And then go back to the dynamic memory that we did in C. Go to the dynamic memory in C++, because that is relevant, 100%.
Yeah, we can't stress that enough, how important it is to go through those intro to program. Just make sure you've got your foundation solid. That's our approach is always here, is that we always want to make sure that we have our historical context, we have our fundamental conceptual context, and then we can kind of advance from there with confidence.
So that's it, guys. We're going to start our Objective-C journey right now.
I'm excited.